Could Facebook be forced to pay for not protecting your privacy? One guy says he wants millions.
She was found decomposing with maggots eating her flesh. Tonight, a woman fights for her life while her family sits behind bars.
Day 2 of the most important testimony in the Tex McIver murder trial so far. We'll tell you what Danny Jo Carter says she saw while driving the SUV when Tex shot his wife.
Dozens of families lose everything as devastating storms rip through the metro. Tonight, how those families are picking up the pieces.
And breaking right now, another explosion in Austin, Texas, a town already on high alert as police search for a suspected serial bomber. Now, this latest explosion is igniting fears of a copycat on the loose. Police say tonight's explosion was an incendiary device and is not connected to the 5 other bombings, the most recent one happening just a few hours earlier. Authorities held a press conference just moments ago, and Ron Jones joins us now with brand new details. And Ron, why are police so convinced that this is not related to the prior one?
Well, this is a really fluid situation for Austin PD. They're still working on this. Investigators say the latest incident where there was an explosion at the Goodwill store, like you pointed out there, Vinny, in South Austin, is not related to the series of recent deadly package bombs. They say the one this evening was a small military ordnance that ignited in a box as a Goodwill employee was throwing out the trash. The employee is going to be okay, but once again, authorities are saying it's not related to the recent bombings. However, besides today's Goodwill incident, another explosion took place this morning at a FedEx sorting facility. This is north of San Antonio. Federal agents are investigating to see if that blast is tied to 4 package bombs that have recently killed 2 and injured 4 in Austin. Authorities believe the package bomber is enjoying his or her work.
Bomber's progressing. He's feeling extremely powerful now. He's got the city on edge, and he's reveling in the fear that he's producing.
Authorities say they've responded to more than 1,200 suspicious package calls since March 12th, and right now there are hundreds of federal and local law enforcement officials working around the clock to try to find this killer or killers. By the way, folks, you can find the latest on the Austin package bombs anytime on 11alive.com. You can also watch our interview with a lead investigator in one of Atlanta's own serial bombing cases who tells 11 Alive why he thinks the Austin bomber will be caught.
All right, thanks so much, Ron. A routine medical call turns into a disturbing discovery. Now, I have to warn you, this story really difficult to hear. Firefighters arrive in Beaufort to find a bedridden woman. She's alive, but her body was decomposing with maggots and roaches crawling all over her. Tonight, Faith Abube is speaking with this woman's family. Faith, what did they tell you?
Well, Vinny, the victim's husband and her son are here at the Gwinnett County Jail tonight, accused of neglecting her. But I talked to her mother and her sister. They are telling me she's still in the hospital tonight. She's alert and she's not doing well at all. But let me take you 11 miles down the road to the scene in Beaufort. This is one of the breathing masks Gwinnett County investigators had to wear just to stomach walking into this apartment on Pine Tree Circle.
Extremely bad living conditions.
That's crazy.
Inside, a woman these neighbors have only seen a couple of times in the last 4 years. Police say the 54-year-old was bedridden. Firefighters came here last Thursday on a medical call and found her unconscious, sitting in at least a month's worth of human feces and garbage. They say her legs were rotting beneath her while roaches and maggots ate at her flesh.
It's horrifying. It's absolutely shocking.
Whoa, what? How? How did that happen?
That's what police are trying to figure out. The woman's husband, Terry Sorrell, and her son, Christian Sorrell, both arrested and charged with neglect. Corporal Wilbert Randall says the two were the woman's only caretakers.
We all have our different living styles or neatness or whatever, but they're free to come and go. She was immobile. She needed someone to take care of her.
According to a police report, the obese woman has been bedridden for more than a year. She was admitted to a long-term care facility, but the family says they couldn't afford to pay, so they brought her back home. Neighbors tell 11 Alive moving her to clean her was a constant challenge.
I know they couldn't do it by themselves because the neighbor and I went there together to help them. It wasn't possible.
In addition to the woman's condition, police say the apartment was uninhabitable. Garbage everywhere. piled up to almost the ceiling in some places, and the entire apartment crawling with bugs.
I have I don't have a big enough vocabulary for it.
So Faith, how about that apartment? What's going to happen to that? You've got neighbors there, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's a neighbor directly next to that apartment in the same building. Obviously, police think this apartment is uninhabitable. So we've been asking for the last 2 days, did they call code enforcement? Is the apartment condemned? And so far, 2 days, no response.
All right. Thanks so much, Faith. Tonight, Facebook under fire, profile information stolen from 50 million users to help the Trump campaign. Now lawmakers are demanding answers, while investors of the company have filed a lawsuit. And some Facebook users now are wondering if they can do the same thing. So Natisha Lance has been digging into this one today. And as a lawyer, I'm a little curious here as to what the cause of action may or may not be, or what this Facebook user thinks he's entitled to. Natisha, what did you find out
Right.
today?
Well, before we go into that, I want to take you back. There's a lot of layers to this story, but I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. So it goes back to 2014 when Facebook approved researchers to take a personality quiz, and they were very popular at the time on Facebook. The quiz was used to harvest data from millions of users on Facebook, and years later, all that data was transferred to this company right here, which is Cambridge Analytica. This is the CEO right here, who has since been suspended since this investigation has been going on. What they tried to do was find out all the information that they possibly could. They're a controversial company who is responsible for getting detailed information for political campaigns on their voters. So in 2016, the Trump campaign paid millions of dollars to this company for information from Facebook. Now, Facebook says it was an improper use of information, and the group told the group to delete all of their profiles. But users like you and me and others like I spoke to today say that they feel violated by this information, and they're looking for a payday. Take a listen.
It is shocking to my conscience, just as it is shocking to many other people's conscience, that we have been used in such a way and possibly manipulated to even bear hate towards our friends because of information fed to us by Facebook. We need for these things with Facebook to stop, and if they did indeed violate some serious federal laws or other laws, well, then they need to pay the price for that.
Now that price, how much do you think it is?
I mean, if it's Facebook, right, they got billions of users, it's got to be a lot,
Billions
right?
of users. Okay, well, Jerry is looking for $3.5 million. So far, he hasn't found an attorney. He just started looking today to take the case, but luckily we have you to try to figure this all out. So does he have a case?
Well, I think there's a big investigation taking place. We found out today the FTC is also looking into all this. So I think it depends very specifically on some of the facts and what the agreement was and how the information was gotten. But I think it's worth pursuing at this point, at least investigating it.
Now, what about the terms of use and agreement? So all of us know about that. Once you sign up for Facebook, it says to read through all this very fine print, and you have to agree to those terms of use of agreement in order to use Facebook. Is that going to be a problem with filing suit?
It could be. So what you have to do is take a look at the terms of agreement, then match that up with how it was actually used. So was there a violation of the terms of agreement by Facebook? Did they do something with the information that isn't in there? So again, it really is going to depend upon the investigation into all of this, which is going to go on.
Yeah, I'm sure. So stay tuned, see what Jerry does. And for the time being, also, if there's other people who might end up joining suit with Jerry and with others.
All right. Thanks so much, Natisha.
All right, time to check some other big stories in tonight's Speed Feed. We have brand new video showing the last time, the known time, a Hartsfield-Jackson Airport worker was seen alive. And here she is. This is Shaniqua Sullivan carrying a red bag, having trouble with a Breeze card at the airport MARTA station. Her family says she caught the train to and from work every single day. Now they're desperate to find out why she disappeared and how her body ended up in the Yellow River a month later. Investigators have still not revealed how Sullivan died. And take a look at this huge haul from a single home in Stone Mountain. Yeah, it's a lot there. The GBI says it's an assortment of illegal drugs, painkillers, guns, and a boatload of cash. Agents also discovered a bulletproof vest and a large amount of ammunition. State investigators say 4 people were allegedly trafficking drugs from a home in Stone Mountain. Another animal on the verge of extinction, and we've learned the last male northern white rhino has died. Sudan, the 45-year-old rhino had been put down at a nature preserve in Kenya. now 2 females, all that remain of this species. And Twitter is full of upset messages out there, like Victoria here, who tweeted, "The human race is slowly destroying our beautiful planet." And Jackie, she says, "Test tube white rhino to conserve its species. This should not be happening." Or Vicky's tweet, "It's a sad day to end this species," or the end of a species. And researchers are hoping that vitro fertilization can save these rhinos. Vinny?
Yeah, they're doing test tube sheep. Why not a rhino?
Why not?
Thank you. Hey, the courtroom revelations keep on coming. She's the only other person in the SUV when Tex MacGyver shoots his wife, Diane. We'll tell you what Danny Jo Carter told the court, what she saw that night in her own words.